Yo, what is going on, Guardians, and welcome back to another Destiny 2 gameplay video. Hey, in this video, we're going to be taking a look at the 3 new sniper rifles that came to Destiny 2 in the season of the Splicer. I'm talking about the Praedyth's Revenge, the Uzume RR4, and the Occluded Finality. These 3 snipers are all different from one another in many ways, and are obtained in very different activities. But they're all available right now for you to chase, and include a vast array of weapon perks in their pools, making them unique in their own rights. The ultimate goal of this video is to determine which sniper rifle is the best new sniper for PvP players. Of the 3, which one has the most PvP potential? And we'll try to approach that conversation from all angles. But before we dive into that conversation, I need to take a moment to highlight the sponsor of today's video, Keeps. So, here's the deal, gentlemen. 2 out of 3 men will experience some form of male pattern baldness by the time they're 35. Now that's 2 years away from me. And if you want to stop that from happening, the best way to do it is to get on top of prevention strategies right now. And that's where Keeps comes into play with FDA-approved treatments that'll help you get ahead of the game. And the best part, you don't even have to leave your home. It's extremely simple. Consult with doctors online who are licensed to give you a prescription and have that sent right to your door. And if you have any questions or concerns, you can contact your Keeps doctor at any time, 24/7. Now, Keeps has more 5-star reviews than any of its competitors. So if you want to get started and prevent hair loss, go to keeps.com/truevanguard, or just click the link in the description to get 50% off your first order. That's keeps.com/truevanguard. And thanks, Keeps, for sponsoring the content today. Alright, so this season we have 3 new sniper rifles that found their way into the loot pool. Wait, scratch that. We had 2 sniper rifles that are over half a decade old, and 1 sniper rifle from pre-Forsaken Destiny 2 Iron Banner, make an appearance in the loot pool again. I say that sort of tongue-in-cheek, but truth be told, I was excited about both the Praedyth's Revenge and the Uzume coming back to Destiny, since I have pretty fond memories of using both of those in Destiny 1. The Occluded Finality did absolutely nothing for me emotionally when I learned it was coming back, and we'll talk about whether or not my feelings changed on that. But here we are a few weeks into the new season, and we've had time to go chasing after each one of these weapons and get to know them and their perk pools a little bit. So let's chat about each of them in turn and unpack their strengths, their weaknesses, and then we'll rate them from worst to best in PvP after that. So first up, let's talk about the sniper rifle that became available chronologically first. It's the Occluded Finality. This sniper rifle drops from turning in Iron Banner tokens, completing specific Iron Banner quest steps, and sometimes at the end of Iron Banner matches randomly. It is an aggressive frame, high-impact sniper rifle with an aim assist value of 47, a range value of 78, and a zoom value of 58. Now, I feel like it's important to pump the brakes for a second and note that zoom value. Most popular snipers in Destiny have fallen somewhere between 40 and 45 zoom values. The Beloved has a zoom value of 40, the Adored is 45, the Revoker is actually 35. You know, these are historically some of the most used snipers in the history of Destiny 2. But recently, we've seen Bungie start to try to force players to snipe differently, right? They released the Frozen Orbit with a zoom of 50, the Cloud Strike with a zoom of 50. They heavily nerfed the 140 rate of fire snipers in the damage department. They took away their ability to put down most supers, and then heavily nerfed the aim assist on scopes less than 50 zoom. I have feelings about that, by the way, and perhaps I'll talk about that later. But Bungie has been trying to force a shift away from, popular snipers with low zoom values by sunsetting them and nerfing their utility. The Occluded Finality feels like maybe the far end of the pendulum's journey to the other side of its path, right? We went from a Twilight Oath meta years back to now hearing creators singing the praises of a sniper that is opposite in every way, including impact, rate of fire, zoom, handling, and range. I feel like there's something to be said for the Destiny sniper enthusiasts' need to drastically alter their playstyles and adapt to the dramatic changes to their craft in this game. The Occluded Finality has some interesting perks, including the first column, No Distractions, Under Pressure, Surplus, and Snapshot. Although, truth be told, Snapshot is a non-negotiable for this weapon in my opinion in PvP. While those other perks are cool and they're useful, this thing feels like an actual sack of bricks without Snapshot. If you want to use the Occluded without Snapshot, you better be spamming Wraith Metal Mail on Hunter or Ophidian Aspects on Warlock. But don't bother using it without Snapshot on a Titan. In the second column, you have perks like Opening Shot, Iron Reach for more range, Eye of the Storm, and Vorpal Rounds. I think your best options are Opening Shot and Iron Reach, but the other two will serve you just fine as well. Elemental Capacitor, it can be useful too, depending on your subclass, but I don't like things that change as I change, right? I want the gun to perform the same no matter what character I'm playing it on. As far as the perks are concerned, there's nothing particularly new or exciting here. Most people are just going to be looking at the standard, snapshot, opening shot, roll. And there you have it. That's the basic gist of this sniper rifle. Big zoom, big damage, big range energy sniper. If you want to hear more about this one in depth, I'd recommend checking out Cool Guy's full review of it, even though he comes to a different conclusion about the gun than I do. And I'll provide a link to the pinned comment to that video. Next up is the sniper that became available chronologically next. It's the returning Vault of Glass fan favorite, the Praedyth's Revenge. Now, the Praedyth's Revenge was a favorite among PvP players in early Destiny 1 because it had a combination of a low zoom value and low aim assist while having a fast rate of fire. So it was heralded as the staple of the talented sniper and the sniper that best showcased player skill back then. Some of the earliest sniping montages in Destiny 1 featured this weapon almost exclusively. It can be obtained as a random drop from the Oracle's encounter in Vault of Glass just before the Templar fight, and it can drop from Atheon, the final boss, as well. Otherwise, once you've obtained it, you can spend spoils to try to get your hands on a better roll. Praedyth's Revenge is a rapid-fire frame sniper rifle with 140 rounds per minute rate of fire. It stands in direct contrast to the Occluded Finality in many ways. It has a low range value of 41, though with accurized rounds and small bore, you can bring that up closer to 60 while also giving it more stability. The handling value is in the low 70s, so that's pretty freaking high, and it can be pushed even higher. The aim assist value is 78, and the zoom value, interestingly enough, is 49. If you want something to compare that to directly, that's the same zoom value as the Frigid Jackal sniper rifle from Warmind, which was a favorite of mine. With an already high aim assist value, this scope receives almost no negative side effects from the aim assist nerf to Snipers 2. The perks on this weapon really make it stand out to me. It has the popular combination of quick draw and opening shot, which in my opinion is absolutely your best option, but it also has other interesting roles like moving target and kill clip, or no distractions and firefly. Seeing things go boom is always fun, even if it's only occasionally helpful. I wish I could recommend Firefly on this thing, but Bungie said we're not allowed to buff Firefly damage in PvP, which I think is pretty lame, so they took away your abilities to do that. And since Firefly is only going to give you around 80 damage, that means it's not actually going to improve your TTK with your next shot from the sniper. If two people are side by side and you snipe the first one in the head, the second guy is still going to have enough health to tank a body shot, so you either have to shoot for the head or double body, which isn't an improvement at all. Firefly is only occasionally helpful, but it does look really cool. I still think your best bet is quick draw opening shot with accurized rounds and small bore. Hammer Forged is also acceptable. The Praedyth's Revenge is the only new sniper that is in the kinetic slot, so that frees you up to use a wide variety of popular energy weapons in conjunction with it. You've got a lot of sidearms, SMGs to choose from, as well as some great energy hand cannons. Moving on to the final sniper rifle in this list, let's look at the Uzume. The Uzume, I know I'm probably butchering that. I happen to not be Japanese, and I don't really know Japanese words very well, so I'm trying. The Uzume is a returning Destiny 1 Amalon sniper rifle. Although like Praedyth's Revenge, it's a little different than it used to be. This time they changed its archetype entirely. Instead of being a rapid fire frame, it's now an adaptive frame. And the optics are no longer randomly rolled, they're fixed. In Destiny 1, it had access to the Falcon SS1 scope, which was a low zoom scope that boosted the handling speed of the weapon. This time the Uzume has double the aim assist and a fixed scope with a zoom value of 50. It's basically a different gun altogether. The good news is that with a zoom value of 50, it's also unaffected by the aim assist nerfs and boasts a whopping 72 aim assist value and can go a little higher as well. The range stat is 64 and the sniper goes in the energy slot. It pairs quite nicely with the Survivor's Epitaph hand cannon in my experience. The Uzume has a lot of PvE-oriented perks, but it does have a nice PvP role tucked in there too if you can manage to find it. In the first slot, you want Snapshot and nothing else. If you're looking for a PvP role, throw away any Uzume that does not have Snapshot. It's a non-negotiable for PvP players. Obviously, if you're looking for a high DPS energy sniper for PvE, you've got some options here, but otherwise, Snapshot. In the second column for PvP, you want either Explosive Payload or Vorpal. Those are by far your best bets. Explosive Payload is nice because it locks some of the damage of your sniper in the explosion, and it's immune to range drop-off, right? Damage drop-off at range. That's why Explosive Payload is nice. It basically gives you a free range buff. Other than that, I recommend Accurized Rounds and Fluted Barrel for additional handling and range. The Uzume is a Nightfall exclusive weapon, and in my experience, you can get several of these to drop by farming 1340s and even 1310s with friends. Otherwise, bank through a bunch of 1280 strikes and maybe you'll get lucky. My God Roll Plug 1 actually came from a 1280. So, now here's what's interesting though. The Uzume is going to have an Adept version available. That's definitely worth noting. It will have boosted stats and access to Adept mods, so you may consider holding off until Grandmasters come out and trying to get your hands on an Adept role that will serve you well down the line and give you a little boost to all of its stat values. So there you have it. Those are the 3 new sniper rifles with a brief look at each of them. You've got your high-impact Mega Zoom Occluded Finality, the rapid-fire Praedyth Revenge with a super snappy handling speed and responsiveness, and you've got the middle ground Adaptive Frame Uzume with moderate zoom and access to Adept mods and stats. So, what's the verdict for PvPers? Which one will be the best overall sniper in our neck of the woods? I'll rate them from worst to best, in my opinion. Now, I know right now there will be some of you who disagree and other content creators who would put these in a different order, and that's okay. A lot of sniping comes down to personal preference, but the worst of the 3 for me is the Occluded Finality by a landslide. That 58 zoom value coupled with the slow handling and low zoom speeds just does not do it for me. I mean, Snapshot helps to alleviate it a bit, but I like to snipe aggressively and up close. This to me feels like it was made for a different player, but certainly not for me. And with most of the maps in this game being designed for closer combat, I feel like I'm either dumping all my ammo at range and then being held in place by pulse rifles and 120s and I can't capitalize on my kills, or I'm getting shredded by abilities and apes up close before I can accurately acquire a target through the literal telescope that I have to look through. I know Bungie wants us to change how we snipe in this game, but if they're going to continue to go in this direction with snipers, I'm just going to use sunset ones, or I'm going to switch to pulses and some scouts instead, so I can consistently duel at range and not worry about running dry on ammo. Now, which snipers takes the second and first place slots, right? This one's tough for me because I like a lot of what's going on with both Praedyth and Uzume. But if I had to fall off the log, I'd say Praedyth's Revenge takes second place. It's close. I really like using the Praedyth's Revenge, but the fact that it does so little body shot damage on top of the fact that it can't really put supers down very consistently means I'd have to go with the Uzume when push comes to shove. The zoom values are almost identical, but the Uzume has more utility and will eventually have access to those Adept mods and stats that I think are just too good to pass up. Now, is this a glowing endorsement for the Uzume? Not exactly. I mean, truth be told, I feel like the best days of sniping are behind us. I miss running around the map aggressively with Twilight Oath and the Beloved. The responsiveness they used to have and the nasty play potential up close really fed into that power fantasy feel for me. I know a lot of players have a different vision for sniping and its role in Destiny, and they're probably happy with where sniping is going, but for an aggressive player like me, I feel like I'm having more fun lately dueling with pulses and scouts as opposed to snipers. And then I'm covering my close range fights with sidearms, SMGs, and fusions. While the Uzume may be, in my opinion, the best sniper for PvP this season, I can't say that I'll be sniping a whole lot. And that's probably okay, truthfully. Some of the new primary weapons are so freaking good that I'm really loving using them right now anyways. And the Plug 1 has stolen my heart too. There will be other seasons and other patches down the road, but for this season, I think sniping won't be a regular part of my routine. Right now, I'm trying to dump spoils into VOG and get a God rolled found verdict anyway. So, thanks for watching the video. Be sure to give me your thoughts and opinions in the comments section below, and definitely rank these 3 snipers from your perspective as well. Be warm and well fed, my friends, and I hope to catch you in the Crucible.
Keep it up.